latest in our series of interviews with Eura's friends, family and members across the globe. I'm Dom Tidy from Eura. I have the great pleasure of introducing you today to Maria Kouri from Athens in Greece. Maria and I have known each other for a great deal of time. This interview was conducted earlier this week on the 24th of March. So just bear in mind that in the ever-changing times in which we find ourselves at the moment, things may have moved on since the interview was recorded. We will keep re-recording these interviews with our members, and so you will get an update. Thank you.
And welcome back to this series of interviews with Euro members all over the world. I am delighted to welcome my friend and colleague of many years, Maria Kouri of Corporate Relocations Greece. Maria, first question, what's happening in Greece?
So, hi, Dom. Thank you for giving me the chance to speak about our country. So, what is happening in Greece? We have this virus, I don't know if you heard of.
No, I hadn't. That's very
So the first case of coronavirus was in Greece 1 month ago. So
only a month.
1 month, yeah.
Wow.
It was actually the 26th of February that we had our first case. And the good news is that the government was quite quick and they started imposing measures very quickly. On Sunday, we had our most important measure, which is that the country is on a total curfew. Now the victims, the deaths are up to 20, and the cases are up to 700. So the expansion is really being fought. And the good news as well is that we are seeing that people are behaving quite mature.
Right.
Without trying to be very pessimistic, the good thing is that people are behaving, and I think it's because of our country as well, Italy, and people are scared and they know that we need to depend on each other. We need to stay home in order to prevent this expansion. Again, the good thing is that people are aware, people are behaving, and you talk to friends and family and elders, you see that each of them are whatever they can, either to protect themselves or to hold to the measures and believe that there foods for everybody and all these things. So a panic is not provoked, because that's the worst thing, I think, in this kind of circumstances that we are living. So this is what's going on outside.
And do you have restrictions on how many people can get together, or are you able to still meet or not? No.
No, there was a measure that up to 10 people, more than 10 people, gatherings are forbidden. But now with the curfew, it's a general thing that you cannot meet outside. When you have to go outside, you have to have a specific document, and you have to send an SMS where you get a reply. When you want to go shopping, for example, you send an SMS and you say that I'm there and I want to go shopping there. And then you receive a reply that they tell you you can go. And then if you're stopped in the street, you have to show that to the policeman. It's very strange that you cannot open your window. You have to show from inside the glass.
Oh, really? So this is intended to be in a car. That's very interesting, because I spoke with Jeremy Bertou last week in France, and they have a similar system. You must download the form. That hasn't seemed. I think that's incredibly sensible. And I guess if you're outside of where you're meant to be, where you've said you're going, then they can find you, right? Yeah.
Yes, and there is also I've heard from personal people, from personal acquaintances that they have traveled, that they're also being checked on the quarantine they have at their, because when you come to Greece, you have a 14-day quarantine where you have to stay in your home without getting out, and these people are being checked, which is a good thing to hear as well.
It's remarkable how things were able to be mobilised so quickly. And in terms of mobilising things quickly, how was implementing your continuity business plan? Was that straightforward? Was it tricky? How did it go?
Well, yeah, thank you for asking. We are very proud of that, actually, because as I've been hearing some colleagues as well, we have had our continuity plan much. When this thing all started, we started putting it into force. So even before the government obliged us, we put our continuity plan in place. We started working remotely since last Monday, the 15th, around that. Sorry, I don't remember if it was 15th.
That's right.
We've lost the dates now.
Yeah, no.
So our work continues differently, but with the same pace, if we can say same pace. But you know what I mean, that our team is there. What we do is that we continue our weekly meetings, but they have changed on the fact that we have our management team and our operations team. Our operations team informs the management team on a daily basis on all communication with clients that had an issue or they had a question or anything. And then we think and we try to find creative solutions on how we can go out to our clients, because imagine being in our own country and we feel bizarre.
Yes.
Imagine being in a different country, and especially in a country like Greece where you don't speak the language.
Yeah. You maybe can't read the language.
Exactly. Now I just realized, now that you're saying this, that all our Prime Minister's announcements have been in Greek. Of course, at the news you can read English, but the moment it's happening, you are just... So we want to be there for our clients, to make them feel, for our signees, to make them feel that in case this thing continues and they want to rent a place outside Athens or whatever, that they know that they have a friendly Greek voice to talk to. So it happens with our operations team. Our management team is reaching out to the rest of the world to show our clients that we're there. And I believe that's the thing that one should do now, because to be honest, it's not only our need to show that we're there, but it's our need to be heard and to also communicate with people, because this is what makes our everyday equilibrium. You know what I mean? That if we didn't have that, it would be totally...
Absolutely. I completely understand. I think one of the things, all of the conversations that I've been having with friends and colleagues, with Euro members all over the world, has been this communication, this what we're doing now, this picking up the phone, getting on FaceTime, getting on Skype is so important for everyone. But I take my hat off to this industry and to you guys in particular. You know, that level of support to assignees comes from the heart. This is a human service, and it's so important that you continue that communication. I'm delighted. And from that point of view, because that's quite emotional as well. You're dealing with people who are in, like you say, in a very strange situation, trying to manage change. They've just arrived. How are your team coping with that?
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for saying that, but I believe that our industry is what you're saying. You have to do your work, but at the end of the day, you have to fit the other person. And I believe that our extension is Europe. And that's what you're doing, and that's what you're saying, that it's so important to feel that it's so fun. It's the first time that we feel close with our competitors, close with everybody there.
Yeah.
we all need to be there to survive. So how the team is working, yes, first of all, let me tell you some details that all our contact details remain the same because of our continuity plan, which is a good thing, because what somebody did to communicate with us before, the same thing he should do now. So our phone numbers are VoIP, so we have all our teams can use the same. So when you call corporate locations, you call the main number, and either our main person picks it up, or you press the number, and then you can reach everybody at their home. So that's good. The same happens with emails, of course. We have SharePoint, Microsoft Office.
Excellent.
So all our server is up there on the clouds, away from coronavirus.
Yes.
So everything can work normally. We didn't have any teething issues, and this is what we're very proud of. So the team is very touching, Dom, because they're working, I don't want to say harder, but I want to say that they're working they give very positive vibes. They're happy when they speak with the client. And I believe that this is what we were saying. We need to work, of course, we're scared of what is going to happen to our industry. We're all scared about everything right now. But on the other hand, work is how can I say, is a gift right now, because we speak to our clients, they speak to us, and we need them as much as they need us, to be honest.
It's keeping everything normal, isn't it? It's staying communicating, it's keeping things within the parameters of what we understand on a daily basis, because this is just unknown for us.
And when you speak about work and you get your mind a little off the everyday, this everyday routine, it makes you feel that it will get away. It will go away. It will change, and we will again be normal.
Back together. Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, from that, feeding on from that, you're right. I mean, one of the ways for us on our team has been staying positive, has been continuing to work, continuing to support, continuing to do what we do, continuing to come up with new ideas in the training. How are you all staying positive apart from work? Do you have ways of coping?
No. Dom, to be honest, it's not, which is a good thing so far. It's not that it has taken too much. It's not too long. How can I say it? It's not happening for too long. So we are still with 1 foot to our normality, which was 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So we still, and to be, let me tell you a personal thing, is that I like being at home. I've missed my home. I've been running like crazy every day, and the weekends were not enough. So that's a positive, pessimistic joke.
Yes, no.
I don't know how to say it, but I'm not, my children, my family, and myself, we are still trying to enjoy time together, and we still have not found an equilibrium there because we have a lot of work. Children have to work from home, which is a new thing. So if you try not to think about the bad scenarios all the time, and try to take the day as it comes and goes with some positive things. The weather is, even if it's nice or even if it's not nice, it's nice to look outside and to dedicate some time looking outside, see the nature, think differently, which this is what we're doing to keep on our optimism. And,
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. And actually that resonates for me too. I kind of, I don't spend nearly enough time at home, and it's being positive about those things. It's being positive about the fact this will come to an end. we will get our normal lives back. But it's finding those small things. You're quite right. It's finding those small things, being at home. I'm doing a lot of cooking to stay positive, eating a lot of food.
So Dom, sorry to interrupt you there, but I heard of a joke today, and they say, please use more masks, not to go outside, to use them inside our home to stop eating.
Yes, that's a very good point. I love it. Tell me, how are things in terms of coming from government? Are you yet hearing about subsidies, tax cuts, things from the government that will support your company through this?
At the moment, no. We are in Greece. There is, I'm sure it's in other countries, but sorry, I don't know the details. In Greece, we have a number in the tax authority where our activity is mentioned. Okay. So when last week, when a lot of restaurants and places were closed, the government announced the numbers of the activity of the companies where they're being directly affected, and they announced some measures for the companies and their employees. Since that, they extended the list with some more numbers. We're still not into any list, but the government announced that that the list will be extended even more as long as this thing continues, and also that in case you can prove when you are in this, because in Greece relocation is not, it's a very small sector, so we don't have
your own designation,
being groups or whatever. So they said that if you can prove as a company that your turnover has been affected very much, then you will be included in some sort of help, assistance from official assistance. But at the moment, again, Dom, it's too early to chase something like this. Right now, I believe it's still too early. And to be honest, I also believe that if this thing it's prolonged a lot, I'm sure there will be, all the measures will be fixed accordingly to the situation, because the government itself is facing unprecedented times.
Yeah, I know. It's early days. It's interesting how governments have started to respond like that, and because of the way that the economy is set up in Greece with the numerical designation for professions, that's very smart, and that means they can respond quite quickly and where there is need. How are your family? Everyone okay?
Yeah, before I stop with all these boring things, I want to say another boring thing. Just to mention it, another funny thing was that before the coronavirus, we had a big political, I'm sure you know, political issue, immigrants and the immigration and Turkey. Hi to all my Turkish friends. And again, that is very funny, because we had this issue and it was every day in our lives, and we were all talking about this and what's going to happen, and the European, and you can see that these kind of things were now they're not a priority anymore, and you cannot believe it's happening. Really,
it's like Brexit. It's all Britain has talked about for the last 5 years, and now doesn't even get a mention on the news.
Exactly.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
On the other hand, it's extremely interesting. I feel it this way. It's extremely interesting to see that the world is small. We're all into this together, and this is what it's like. Okay, it's going to sound funny, but I'm a I am an educated person, but it seems like nature is telling us that, look, guys, you're all into this together. So stop fighting, stop running like crazy, and you have to depend. You depend on each other.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's amazing. Anyway.
Thank you so much. That's a really lovely, positive message. And your family's all okay? Everyone's good? Team's all good? Yeah.
Yes. It was actually very strange and very, very moving that my parents came 3 days ago, just outside our home, and they just left, and we just looked at them from the car, and it was very strange.
Yeah. That is
but
very
yes, everybody's okay, trying to keep healthy, and this is what we hope for everybody.
Maria, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it. It's always lovely to talk with you, and thank you so much for staying so positive. Let's catch up in a few weeks' time, see where we are. We'll do this again.
For sure. Dom, I just want to tell you something. We have a link in our site where we every day and even twice a day, where we mention all the latest news about somebody who wants to come to Greece, who is in Greece, and who wants to leave Greece. And we updated with all the about the coronavirus and how can somebody
respond and
what is allowed to do and what is not allowed to do. So if you wish me to send you that link, please tell me.
That would be great. I can put it in the YouTube thing, and I can put it on the bulletin that goes out. That would be great.
Great.
Thank you.
I will.
Yeah.
And yes, please reach out whenever to repeat this to tell you what currently stands for Greece. Yes.
Thank you so much, Maria. It's always lovely to catch up with you. I'm so sorry I won't see you in Seville this year, but I will next year for sure. We'll catch up soon. Thank you again. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.